The Bronze Age marked a pivotal period when humans first began to craft tools and weapons from metal, gradually replacing earlier stone implements with bronze ones. It is believed that ancient Sumerians in the Middle East were among the first to transition into this new age. This era saw remarkable technological strides, including the invention of writing systems and the wheel, both of which had profound impacts on civilization. Across the Middle East and parts of Asia, the Bronze Age spanned approximately from 3,300 to 1200 BC, concluding abruptly as several major Bronze Age societies simultaneously experienced collapse. Bronze Age tools. Humans may have begun smelting copper as early as 6000 BC in the Fertile Crescent, a key region in the Middle East often referred to as the cradle of civilization, and known for being the birthplace of early agriculture and urban centers. It was likely that ancient Sumerians were the first to combine tin with copper, creating bronze. This alloy, much harder and more resilient than pure copper, proved to be an ideal material for crafting tools and weapons. Evidence suggests that societies began shifting from copper to bronze around 3300 BC, marking the end of the Stone Age, a prehistoric era dominated by stone tools and weaponry. Different cultures entered the Bronze Age at various times. For instance, Greek civilizations began using bronze before 3000 BC, while the British Isles and China saw the rise of bronze around 1900 BC and 1600 BC respectively. The Bronze Age was characterized by the emergence of kingdoms and states, large societies unified under central rulers. These early states were interconnected through trade, warfare, migration, and cultural exchange. Some of the most prominent Bronze Age kingdoms included Sumer and Babylonia in Mesopotamia and Athens in ancient Greece. The era came to an end around 1200 BC as humans began forging iron, a stronger and more durable metal, marking the start of the Iron Age. Bronze Age civilizations. By the 4th millennium BCE, the Sumerians had founded around a dozen city-states across ancient Mesopotamia, with notable centers like Eridu and Uruk in what is today southern Iraq. The Sumerians referred to themselves as the Sagiga, or black-headed ones. Known as some of the earliest users of bronze, they developed innovative agricultural techniques, utilizing levees and canals for irrigation. Sumerians also invented cuneiform script, one of the world's first writing systems, and constructed massive step temples known as ziggurats. The Sumerians had a profound appreciation for art and literature. Their 3,000-line epic poem, the Epic of Gilgamesh, recounts the adventures of a Sumerian king on his journey to confront a forest monster and uncover the secrets of eternal life. By the way, I have made a video about the Epic of Gilgamesh, so go and check that out. Babylonia emerged as a prominent Bronze Age civilization around 1900 BC in what is now Iraq, with Babylon as its capital. Originally occupied by the Amorites, Babylon gained dominance under the rule of King Hammurabi, who developed one of history's earliest comprehensive legal codes. This code of Hammurabi helped establish Babylon as the preeminent city, overtaking the Sumerian city of Ur. Assyria became a powerful political and military entity within ancient Mesopotamia, eventually reaching its peak with an empire extending from present-day Iraq in the east to Turkey in the west and Egypt to the south. The Assyrians were often at odds with the pharaohs of ancient Egypt and clashed with the Hittite Empire of Turkey. The empire derived its name from its original capital, the city of Assur, situated along the west bank of the Tigris River in modern Iraq. In ancient China, Bronze Age civilizations flourished primarily around the Yellow River, particularly during the Shang Dynasty and the Zhou Dynasty. In these periods, bronze became central to the creation of chariots, weapons, and ritual vessels. Unlike other Bronze Age societies that employed the lost wax technique, Chinese artisans used a distinct approach known as piece mold casting. This technique involved crafting a model of the intended object, which was then covered in a clay mold. The mold would be carefully cut into sections and refired to create a unified casting mold. During the Bronze Age, Greece became a central Mediterranean hub of activity, beginning with the Cycladic civilization around 3200 BC. This early Bronze Age culture developed on the Cyclades Islands, located in the Aegean Sea, southeast of the Greek mainland. A few centuries later, the Minoan civilization emerged on Crete and is regarded as Europe's first advanced society. Known for their thriving trade networks, the Minoans exported products like timber, olive oil, wine, and dyes to Egypt, Syria, Cyprus, and mainland Greece, while importing essential raw materials such as copper, tin, ivory, and precious stones. By approximately 1600 BC, the Mycenaean civilization rose to prominence on the Greek mainland, ushering in a period of prosperity during the Late Bronze Age. Key Mycenaean power centers included Mycenae, Thebes, Sparta, and Athens. Greek mythology often references Mycenae, claiming it was founded by the hero Perseus, slayer of Medusa. The Mycenaean king Agamemnon, as portrayed in Homer's Iliad, is said to have led the Greeks in the legendary Trojan War, although no historical evidence confirms a king by that name. Bronze Age collapse. The Bronze Age came to a sudden end around 1200 BC across regions like the Middle East, North Africa, and Mediterranean Europe, in what many historians describe as a swift and turbulent transition that caused cultural upheaval. Within a short time frame, several major civilizations, including the Mycenaeans in Greece, the Hittite Empire in present-day Turkey, and ancient Egypt, experienced rapid decline. As cities were deserted, trade routes dissolved, and literacy waned across these areas, the era's interconnectedness fell apart. Many scholars suggest that a combination of natural and social factors likely contributed to the widespread collapse of these empires. Archaeological findings point to recurring droughts that affected the eastern Mediterranean for about 150 years, between 1250 and 1100 BC, potentially exacerbating food shortages and destabilizing societies. Alongside drought, other factors such as earthquakes, famine, internal conflicts, and invasions by nomadic groups may have also compounded the crises, hastening the end of the Bronze Age.